Okay, I'm gonna do 2 vlogs today because every time I try to video this, it runs out of time. So, the first one, I'm gonna do both of them on the moon and the moon's influences. The first one I'm gonna do in terms of phases, and the second one I'm gonna do in terms of the zodiac. So yeah, it should be fun. Before I do this, I'm going to point out that there's going to be the moon is moving into the last quarter tomorrow at 58 minutes past 7 at night. So yeah, we're feeling the effects of that in Scotland right now. The phases affect people in many different aspects. It affects you in terms of the mind, of your biorhythm, of your energy, of emotions, of female and male mystery, in terms of weather and in terms of dreams. The mind becomes a lot more analytical and you have a lot more clear thoughts, and you can you find things easier to analyze and to get into the hidden meanings of during the last quarter. Also in the last quarter, your biorhythm. Many people may lose their appetite and find themselves losing weight a lot easier during the last quarter. Your energy, people become a lot more energetic in the morning, and well, I usually am quite more energetic in the morning because I'm a morning person, but a lot of people get a lot more energetic and tend to get more sleepy at night. And many people may even take a lot of naps during the day and stuff during the last quarter. That affects your sleepiness. But yeah, in terms of emotions, people become a lot more clingy and attention seeking, and may try to be a lot more cuter to get a lot of that attention that they need. In terms of female and male mystery, you kind of stick with your parental gender. Females tend to become more maternal and males tend to become more paternal during the last quarter. The weather tends to become more strange and unlikely and unpredictable during the last quarter. I know that here in Scotland we're definitely feeling the effect of that. Where I live in Scotland, it's a town called Greenock, and we get a lot of rain and dull weather, and it's always really cold and dreary, and but lately, the past couple of days, we've been so freaking sunny. We've been really feeling the heat. It's been really strange for us. So that's us heading into the last quarter. In dreams, your dreams don't necessarily become more lucid. That's more during the full moon. In the last quarter, for terms of dreams, instead of pure lucid, they just kind of answer questions to real life questions that you may be asking, or that may be playing on your subconscious mind at that time. Your mind tends to answer them and kind of gives you signs or directions through your dreams during the last quarter. But yeah, that's the effects of the phases. The influences of the moon. The moon has 5 specific tides that it tends to influence. It influences the whole Earth completely, and everything in the Earth affects. It has ocean tides, earth tides, fire tides, air tides, and spirit tides. Ocean tides, I think everyone kind of knows about that. We have 2 tides a day. It is as the moon moves, the gravitational pull, it drags the ocean with it and creates 2 tides per day. So this tide tends to be much more stronger during the full moon and the new moon. So yeah, the earth tides is a lot similar. As the moon moves, it pulls the earth's crust. So the land masses and mountains of the earth, they actually rise between 4 and 12 inches as the moon rises, and then they set back to normal as the moon sets again during the night or during the day. So yeah, that's really interesting. The fire tides, it's when, as the moon moves, it does the exact same as the ocean tides, only it's with the fiery kind of molten crust of the earth. This is really dangerous actually, and proves really problematic. It contributes to a lot of causes for earthquakes and stuff, so that one's really obvious too. We can't really deny that one. The air tides, it affects the atmosphere, it creates and it increases and decreases the pressure as the moon moves on the earth. This also affects our weather. Again, specifically during the full moon, during summer or spring, around full moons, that's when we get the peak of our heat, or the most sunny weather. But it's a shame really. The weather companies, they tend not to look to the moon or the moon's phases or whatever when they're trying to discover their forecasts, so maybe that's why they're wrong a lot of the time, or at least that's what I think in my opinion. Spirit tides, that's much more personal. That affects us and the animals around us. That is like a direct influence to us. It affects us in terms of reproduction, and it affects the animals a lot. It also affects us in terms of emotions. For example, for reproduction, I don't know if any females watching this or whatever have noticed, but the blood tides within the spirit tides affects menstrual cycles. It tends to happen that women their menstrual cycles will come the evening before the full moon. But that's not always the case, because technology and lighting specifically affects it. So we might not notice it as much as our foremothers would have. But it is there. The influence is there. It's just, it's affected by electricity, and so we kind of mess it up a bit. There's another influence under the blood tides. There tends to be a lot more hemorrhages and stuff during the full moon and stuff, so yeah, that influence is there. In terms of emotions, the full moon affects emotions widely. Psychologists have been looking into it for quite some time, there tends to be more psychotic crimes and murders. There's a lot more violence out there. There tends to be a lot more mental illnesses being diagnosed. Epileptic seizures, couldn't say it there. Accidents and suicides tend to happen more. So the emotional influence is definitely there. Animals, it affects animals in terms of migration of birds, breeding, growing, movements. It affects animals just as much as it affects us, only like with migration and stuff. So yeah, that influence is definitely there, which is kind of strange really. Scientists they tend not to include spirit tides in contribution of the moon. So I don't really know why, but yeah, they say that there's only 4 tides, but the spirit tides, that's definitely an influence. But yeah, that's all I have to say on the influences and the phases. I'd like to point out that there's going to be a rare celestial alignment on June the 5th. Mercury, Jupiter and Venus are going to be in a direct alignment. You're going to be able to see it 30 minutes after midnight, so look out for that. And I'll upload my video on the lunar zodiac straight after this. Bye!